What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. I am Garrett Albert, and I'm going to try to teach y'all a few things and learn my way through this YouTube stuff and just, spread some videos out to everybody. Fishing videos, fishing tips, a few things I know as a young angler. I'm 21 years old. I don't have the experience that some of these guys who do this YouTube is, but I feel like I can relate with some of y'all because I haven't been doing it forever. So maybe you guys can help me. Leave some comments down below and I can help y'all in these videos. But let's jump into this. It's all about frogs today. Who doesn't love frog fishing? That's right. It's about these little things right here that are some of the most fun things to use, and they catch some of the biggest fish. These are some of my favorite baits here. This is just a Spro popping frog. This is just the regular size right here. I think that's in like a sun shad or something, some type of shad pattern, but I'm going to dive into this. A few of the tips and tricks that I have for frog fishing, so stick with it, stay tuned, you won't want to miss this. So diving in first, here is my frog box right here. It's full of all kinds of frogs. I don't know if y'all can see that right there. We got 3 different colors: bluegill, shad, and black. Those are the 3 colors we have. There's a black one right here. I've got white ones like for shad, more types of shad colors, right there. And then I also have bluegill colors, like this one right here. This is a Killer Gill by Spro. I've got, different types of black ones. This one's kind of translucent with black dots on it. I've got a few green ones that actually do resemble frogs, but it's fairly simple. Frog fishing is not something that's super hard. You can really, grab one frog. If I was going to advise you to go buy one frog, it would be either this color right here, which is the Killer Gill, which is just an awesome color right there. You can see that. It's got that bright orange mouth so you can really see it. Or one like this, just this shad color right here. Oh, it's got a red belly right there and just the shad colors and a little bit of sparkle on top. But those are the couple that I would advise y'all to get. They're really, really good. These the popping frogs work the best, it seems like. There's different types of frogs that I have in here, like this one right here. This is for more of your thick cover frog. It's got just, an old style hollow body, pointed nose type frog. And then you have these popping frogs that Spro made, and they actually are, they're just like kind of like an old school popper or something. They spit water and things. Works a little bit better in my opinion. These just work when you're, fishing super thick matted vegetation. These work excellent because they get through, they sit on top a little bit more. But my favorite by far is the Spro popping frog right here. That's pretty much it. Frogs are fairly simple. I do a couple of things to them. I'll show y'all right here. This is the rod and reel I'm using. This is 50-pound Power Pro braid it is on a 8-to-2-to-1 Shimano SLX 150 XG, and this is just that 7.4 heavy action Pro Series Duckett Pro Series rod. And then of course I have this frog here. I've actually cut the tails down on that. If y'all can't see that, I've cut about 1 inch off. Sometimes I'll even go shorter than that. This one was the one I was using this weekend, so it's got a bunch of teeth marks and things on it. I like to use that 7.4 heavy. It's my all-around frog rod, but every now and then I will raise up and I'll go to if I'm fishing, like I was talking about those pointed nose frogs, if I'm fishing super matted vegetation, super thick grass, I'll actually go to something like this. It's a 7.6 heavy. I'll add a couple of inches, go up in the power of the rod just a little bit, just to drag those fish out of this super heavy cover. But when I'm fishing with these frogs, really the only thing I do is I take this frog and I'll actually take the hooks and I'll flip them over like that. I'll take this frog right here and I'll flip it over. I'll put the hooks towards the bottom, and I'll actually just take these hooks right here and I'll bend them like that, bend them out, and then I'll take some pliers and I'll pick the barb up right there and I'll lift the barb up just a hair, and that helps the hookup ratio on these frogs. As you guys can see here, we'll follow along on the screen right here. We were actually fishing this little island and this little point right here all the way out to this river channel. I think the biggest fish were relating to this river channel because there was isolated grass all the way out on this river channel, and it was, anywhere from 6 or 7 to 10 foot of water. And I think the big fish like to be right next to that. Even if the shallow water around here was 1 to 2 foot, And I think these deep fish, you know, they were out in the 6, 7, 8 foot of water, and that's where we really caught those bigger ones. And we'd catch some smaller ones, but they were pushed up into the grass. And then when we got around here to this point, as you can see, this river channel runs right into this point, and it also runs into the bank. So there was some grass there, and we caught them really, really good there. My dad actually caught one of the biggest ones. He caught like a 4.5 pounder right there on that bank. And, you know, that's one of the best things that I've found, you know, when I'm fishing grass. I'll throw a frog, you know, in clear water lakes just around trees and laydowns and stuff. As you can see in this video here, it's on the screen. This is just right on a tree right here in a tournament, and I just skip this frog around this tree, and it eats it. It was a 3.5 pound smallmouth. I catch smallmouth on frogs. I know, you know, it's frowned upon. Most people don't do it. I guess it's not frowned upon. Most people don't catch frogs or catch smallmouth on frogs. But in our lakes, you know, these big Tennessee River type smallmouth, they have bigger mouths. They're just like a largemouth. They're just more aggressive, and they really eat a frog good. So you can also catch them, you know, in laydowns and trees. And this frog that I caught, this smallmouth I caught, this fish was sitting in 15, 20 foot of water. It was just right around a tree, so it was probably suspended. But, you know, these fish, I think, in these grass lakes relate to these, you know, the channel swings and stuff like that, where the river is. Even if the river is right next to 1 foot of water, them fish may be in 1 foot of water, but the river's right there, so they can travel back and forth. So that's one of the big key factors in that. If you're on a grass lake, you know, if you're on one of these highland reservoirs like I live on, you know, we have grass lakes right around us, but if you're on a highland reservoir, you can also just fish laydowns and stuff with the frog. The popping frog is that's when it shines the best, is around these laydowns and stuff like that, because it really draws those fish in. So as y'all can see in this video, this is Brandon Molester right here. He actually is from where I, you know, grew up and went to school, but he's working this frog. He's actually working one of, you know, the just regular hollow belly pointed nose frogs, and he's working it fairly slow over this, you know, thick grass. He's fishing a lot thicker grass than what we have all around on our lakes. But you see that fish comes up first, and it, you know, it doesn't eat it at first. He has, you know, the discipline to not set the hook, and it comes back and eats it again. You really have to have that discipline, you know. Not always do the fish get it the first time. They're very, very, very picky on the frog. Sometimes they'll just slap at it, but he actually ends up catching that fish on the second one. I know it seems like every time a fish eats the frog, and you know, set the hook and the frog comes flying out of the air, that those fish normally don't ever eat again. But if you just keep working that frog, they'll come back and eat it. You know, you can work it slow. You can work it very slow, or you can work it very, very fast. You know, I'm more of the type that I do work my frog fairly fast when I'm in open water, but, you know, if I'm in really thick grass, I'll slow that frog down, because you want them fish to be able to find it, hear it, and see it, and be able to eat it. And you want the fish to be able to get it in their mouth a lot better. So, you know, it seems like the biggest fish, always, they'll just, you know, you have that frog sitting here, you get this frog out, you have this frog, say this is just the grass here, you have that frog sitting there, and the fish, like the biggest fish, they seem to always just come up and slurp it down. The smaller fish, they seem like they'll just blow up on it like that. But these smaller fish, or the bigger fish, like that one in the video that I just showed you, they'll just come up and just kind of swallow it and take it back down. And that's when you have your biggest fish. But those are the main things with the frog. If you have any comments or questions, just leave them down in the comment section. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out. I've always got these tips and tricks videos coming at you. So we may be talking about who knows what next time. But if y'all want to see any certain types of videos, just leave a comment. I'll try to make those videos that y'all want to see. We're going to try to get out and get some fishing content. I know we don't have a ton of fishing content. Should have videoed yesterday when we really caught them on the frog, but we've got a tournament coming up Saturday. Maybe frog fishing some and then going offshore. But I hope y'all enjoyed, and as always, chase your dreams.